Hey guys, I hope you are all doing well, staying safe and healthy. I haven't filmed a video in quite a while, and part of that has to do with moving. So my husband and I moved at the end of January, and then my computer was kind of on its way out, and so the thought of editing and having to deal with some of the problems that it was causing me was just not very appealing. I did recently replace my computer, so that's one thing that has encouraged me to come back here. And of course, we are all, should we say, more homebound than normal. So I'm finding that I have a little bit more time on my hands than normal. And I thought it would be nice to share with you all, since I always seem to film a video on this topic, what I hauled during the spring Sephora sale, however you want to call it. I know it's been a little while since the sale ended, but I think people are still filming and uploading these videos because understandably it has taken a while for some of these items to be shipped to the people that purchased them. I placed multiple orders, and I thought it would be interesting for you all maybe if I went in order in terms of when I place the orders, to kind of show how my, I guess, resistance to peer pressure, not peer pressure, but influencers kind of eroded over time, and I don't know, just what was hyped at the moment, maybe, that inspired me to purchase certain things. So the first order I placed, this was April 17th, so about a month into when I was basically working from home, staying at home, not wearing makeup on a daily basis. I think this is really maybe the second time I've worn kind of a full face in 2 months or so, which is kind of crazy. So the first order I placed, I was very focused on kind of self-care, skincare, that sort of thing that I thought would actually be useful. So the first item here, I got the Milk Makeup Vegan Milk Moisturizer. This is the travel size, so this retails for $19, I think, full priced. And I think I tried this once, maybe. I think I might like this more in the winter. I think for right now, it felt like it sat on my skin, and depending on how many layers of skincare you want to do, sometimes you want a product that's really going to sink in, and sometimes you want something that's going to kind of seal in whatever you put on underneath. So I think I will be able to get through this. Doesn't smell like anything, but I'm not sure if it's going to replace the moisturizers I already like. So again, that was a little mini from Milk Makeup. The next product is something that is a repeat many times over for me. This is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hydrating Serum, and this retails for $38 for 1.7 ounces. I don't know if I said the size for the mini. This was about half an ounce, I think. So anyway, so the First Aid Beauty, this is 1.7 or 50 ml for $38. And it says, Ultra Repair Hydrating Serum, replenish, smooth, and soften, safe for sensitive skin. And what are the ingredients? So the first few ingredients here are water, glycerin, soluble collagen, colloidal oatmeal. It has feverfew extract, licorice root extract, hyaluronic acid, aloe. So it's just, I'll show you a little bit on the back of my hand here. It's just kind of like a gel, like serum, not too heavy. It just adds another layer of hydration, and it's a product I've been using for years. So I wanted to get another one as a backup. And to preview a later order, I ended up purchasing another one because I finished the one that I was currently using. So this became the one that I was then using. Anyway, the next product here, so I know I said I wanted to focus mostly on skincare, that sort of thing, but this Busier Palette, currently it's back up to $45, but I think it was discounted. I don't know for how much. Okay, so this was discounted to $36, I think, and then with the 20% off, it would have been like $30, I guess. And I haven't actually used it yet, but this is the kind of very cool toned, almost black and white type color scheme. And I had a number of these palettes, which I've depotted. And one of the things I do like about these palettes is that they're very easy to pop out of this packaging. If you're not aware, they have like a little divot here, and you can just kind of lift the pan up. So if you wanted to put this in a different Z palette or whatever, then you can do that. Or you could even kind of create your own custom 6 pan. But I have, and this is like a Sephora branded Z palette. Let's see. I don't remember all the numbers offhand. I can try to provide that. I think this is number 5 Nuance in the corner here. I'm pretty sure this is, I think this is number 1, like the, is it cashmere? Let's see what, it's the benefit of having a computer at my fingertips. Okay, so I think this one is 1 cashmere, and then I think number 2 is out of stock. I think they might be discontinuing these. So if you are interested, especially over the Memorial Day weekend, you might want to look to see if they're on sale anywhere. I think Busier might be doing a 20% off sale. So if you are interested in these, you might want to grab them up sooner rather than later. They are very good shadows. I'm curious to see what Busier is going to replace them with. Yeah, part of me is a little, I guess not bummed, but I don't know. When a product's been discontinued, I'm less inclined to keep it as opposed to declutter it, I guess, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm not super excited about that. But anyway, this is 31 cashmere. I think this is 2 minks. I forget what it's called. This one is number 4 amethyst, and then I think this one, yeah, I want to say this one is number 5 nuance. And then I have some of the like mini 8-pan in here, so I think I'm going to take out the mini 8 pans and put the number 3 chroma in this Z palette. So the next product I picked up was the Jouer Rose Gold Blush Bouquet Dual Blush Palette Mini. That's a mouthful. So this retails for $18, and it's a mini of a full-size blush duo that they make. So this has the shades Marigold and Rose Petal, and I forget who I was watching. You know, they have all those Sephora recommendations videos before the sale goes live, and I was kind of convinced to give these Jouer blush duos a try, and having a mini, I mean, these are pretty generous sizes. The total size is 8 grams or 0.28 ounces, but they're definitely big enough to get like a brush into, and it has a mirror and everything. So I have no problems with the packaging. I think it has a nice pink plastic with this gold kind of foil on it. And I used the both blushes today, actually. I kind of focused the lighter one towards the apples of my cheeks, and then the darker one a little bit more towards my temples. And I like it. I think, and part of this might just be because different formulas need different stiffness in terms of brushes. So part of using makeup is just getting to know kind of what texture of brush you need with a certain product. And so it did kick up a bit of powder using this MAC 139 stippling brush, which is usually something I use for like the hourglass blushes that are baked, and so you need something a little bit stiffer. With these being, I guess, just pressed, I could probably get away with a softer brush and not have so much pickup, or kick up rather. But yeah, I like these. I think Jouer might be doing some sort of Memorial Day sale, so I might check out some of the other shades, but I have purchased a surprising amount of makeup over the past couple months for how little I've been wearing it, so I don't know if I need any more blushes, but I do like this. And minis are always a good idea in my opinion. because if you are a makeup enthusiast, you probably have a lot of products that you will never hit pan on. So anyway, like that. I also got another of the Drunk Elephant Proteini Polypeptide Creams. So I have dry skin, and I've tried both this and the Lala Retro, and I think my preference, if I wanted something kind of heavier at night, would be to put this on and then maybe put a face oil on top. Or even putting this on and then putting the Lala Retro, which is kind of overkill. It's expensive, but I think I like this because it does seem to sink in a little bit more versus the Lala Retro, which feels a little bit more like it sits on the skin. So I think part of it just comes down to preference and skin type and all that jazz. But yeah, really do like this product. I've been using it and have been enjoying it. Okay, and then I got two minis from Sol de Janeiro. I got their shampoo and conditioner that they came out with not too long ago. This is the same scent as their Boom Boom cream, so if you like that, you will like the scent of these. And I watched a video, I think Coffee Break with Danny kind of reviewed these. I don't know if anyone else I've seen has talked about them. And she said, I think, so she has more, I don't know if her hair is naturally straight, but it's finer, I think, than mine is. Like, I have quite a bit of natural wave in my hair. And she said that if she used both of these, then her hair kind of felt weighed down. It was kind of a one or the other situation. I have used both of these together, but I think because I think I just have more shampoos to get through at this point, and I do like a very kind of thick and rich conditioner. I did actually purchase the full size of this conditioner. It's not a hair mask, but it's almost that thick. And I just like the scent of it, and I figured a conditioner, it stays in my hair longer because I usually put it in and then kind of put it up in a clip and do everything else in the shower while it's kind of sitting in there. So I felt like to get the scent and the hydration, this would be the way to go. I don't dislike the shampoo. I just, I don't know, I have other things that I'm fine with, and I just wanted to use this up. So I did purchase this. This wasn't as part of the VIB sale. I picked this up more recently. And one of the good things about that product is it's exactly $25, which is usually the kind of bottom level or minimum for deluxe samples. So I wanted to try out this First Aid Beauty. Like I said, I've been using products from the brand for a long time, and I wanted to give this weightless liquid mineral sunscreen with zinc oxide, SPF 30 a try. And this is only zinc oxide. A lot of products I see have zinc and titanium dioxide. But this is about 1/4 ounce. So the box is a little deceptive. When I first got it, I was like, oh, this is kind of a generous sample. And it's still not terrible, but it is, you know, not going to last me forever. But yeah, I wanted to give their sunscreen a try. My go-to sunscreen at the moment, which this is a new one that I just picked up from Ulta, but I'm about 2/3 of the way through a current one of these. This is another mineral sunscreen. It's very liquidy, has a, I guess, metal ball in there to shake it up. This is SPF 30 with titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, like I mentioned. This is, where did the other package go? Does it say the percentage? So this is 16.8 zinc versus 3.2 titanium and 2% zinc. So I don't know if, here, I'll do this for science. I don't know if titanium dioxide, which I think is a mineral that goes into some, and that's interesting. It's tinted. It's not pure white. It doesn't say it's going to be. Yeah, it says, without leaving a white residue thanks to the universal sheer tint. So, sheer tints, I just kind of rubbed it out, can be kind of hit or miss for me. I mean, that looks decent rubbed in. This one does definitely come out white. Because I'm so fair, it doesn't matter. And it is, I think, a little bit, it feels a little bit runnier maybe. So I don't recall what the First Aid Beauty one retails for. I think it's in the $30 range. This Clinique is on sale at Ulta, and it was in stock the last time I looked. So it might be something to look at. I don't know if they're discontinuing the Clinique one. But anyway, I wanted to try the First Aid Beauty. Long story short, all right, let's move on. Okay, so the next two makeup products I purchased, I was kind of debating whether to even mention it because I purchased these specifically to film a video recreating Alison Roman's makeup look, one that basically she had done in a video that I think Glossier posted, and then various articles that she talked about makeup products that she uses. And that was a video that I actually filmed before the, I guess, controversy that Alison Roman had with Chrissy Teigen. So I just deleted the video because I didn't want to upload it during all of that and then have to deal with it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the products that I purchased for it, and maybe down the line when that kind of quiets down, I'll revisit that idea, but for now it just doesn't seem like the wisest choice. So anyway, so she talked about using the Nars Fort de France highlighter powder, and this is more of a champagne. I already had in my collection the same product in Capri, which is more of a pinky type color. So this is a bit of an older product, and I don't know if you'll be able to see very well. That's Capri and that's Fort de France. My lighting is not maybe as good as it used to be. I got rid of my ring light and I haven't settled on, I guess, a replacement that's kind of its equivalent, but that's another story. So anyway, I purchased that highlighter because she used it, and it's okay. Like, I think when that product first came out, Fort de France was kind of the shade that people were going for. I chose Capri because I think it would flatter my skin tone a little bit better, and that's maybe still the case, but now I have two. And then I also got the Diorshow waterproof mascara, which I am wearing today, and I like this. The wand is a little bit big for my taste, so I think I still prefer my Tarte Lights Camera Splashes, which also has a natural wand. It's also waterproof, but it's much narrower. I don't know if anyone else has kind of like foregone makeup during this quarantine period, but I feel like it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, when was the last time I used that mascara? When did I open it? It's almost like you could have just opened a mascara in mid-March and it's kind of approaching the time when you should replace it, which is weird to think about. But anyway, those are the two side by side. The Tarte is the skinnier one and the Diorshow is the bigger one. And I think because I have, I guess, smaller, more deep set eyes, it's just a little bit easier to get in there with this brush. And then Tarte tends to either have specials or just be less expensive, so that's a plus as well. Lancome Hypnose Drama Mascara, which I also like. The normal version I think I've seen on sale at like Ulta and various sites, but not the waterproof, or at least not in stock. So that's kind of a bummer. I do like that one as well. It has kind of a weird, almost S-shaped wand to it. But if you're curious what mascaras I like, those are, I think this is my holy grail, and then the Lancome is a close second. So the last two things in this order were the Voluspa French, is it Cad? Cade? Cad? I think it may be Cad. French Cad Lavender Candle. This is a coconut wax blend, 18 ounces. and I've already been using this. Just one of those kind of relaxation aids, you know, products to use at night. So this is something that I have in the bedroom, and I usually light it for a few hours every night. This one is already down to about here. So I like this one for the bedroom because it has a really nice lavender relaxing scent, but it's also, it might be a little bit more natural. I'm not sure if there's no like petroleum in it. It says coconut wax blend, 100% natural wick. So I don't know, I feel a little bit better about kind of breathing it in, I guess, at night. And the notes on this one are, let's see, French cadwood, verbena, and Bulgarian lavender. So if you like lavender, if you like those kind of woodsy scents, this is a really good one. And then I also thought I would try out this one. This is the Blackberry Rose Oud. And this one was slightly more expensive, I think, because it has like a glass lid, which is nice. And I think I prefer the other one. This says hand-poured cocoa wax candle, and doesn't say anything else on here. So I thought this might be a nice bathroom candle. And it's nice. It's a little bit fruitier and less floral and oudy, I guess, than I thought it might be. So if you are into more of the oud side of this, then I have another candle to show you in a minute that I think you might prefer. But I think in general, Voluspa is a good candle brand, so you can't really go wrong with that. Okay, so speaking of that other candle, I also picked up a mini of the Nest Rose Noir and Oud. So no fruity notes on this. It says Rose de Mai and Smoky Oud are combined with hints of incense, black leather, and patchouli to create a sultry floral fragrance. So I think I definitely prefer this scent. I got the mini because Nest candles are a little bit more expensive, and I wanted to kind of try it beforehand. And this is also a good size to use like while you're taking a bath, because it can sit on, like I have a kind of traditional bath and shower combo, so it can sit in the corner of the bath without falling in or whatever, and it also will cool out within like an hour or whatever, however long it takes me to take a bath, so you don't have to worry about tunneling, because if you light a candle but don't let it cool out, it can just like not melt the outside of the candle and then just starts going straight down. That's called tunneling. So yeah, so I like this, and I would definitely consider purchasing the full size. I think I just prefer this scent generally. So Nest is also a very good candle brand. Laura Slacken is married to Harry Slacken, I think his name is, who's behind Homeworks and Scentworks. So they're a very candle-heavy family. And Nest has been around for a long time. Okay. And then, let's see here. Sometimes it's confusing because you'll place multiple orders, but they combine them, so I'm trying to keep everything straight here. And it's sometimes hard to see what samples you might have requested versus received, so I'm not talking too much about samples. But I think this order, so the mini candle, 2 ounces, was $16. And then I also got a mini of this First Aid Beauty, another First Aid Beauty product. This is the KP, which stands for Keratosis Pilaris, I think. This is the Bump Eraser Body Scrub with 10% AHA, safe for sensitive skin. This is a 2-ounce size, and this is $10. They have a larger size as well. And I have used this a few times. So I just wanted to show you, I don't know if that's gonna show up, old school YouTube here. It's a very fine grain, light gray scrub, and it's supposed to have AHA in it, which is a chemical exfoliant to kind of help remove that kind of rough skin. And I guess on that issue, I would advise that if you're not keeping a chemical exfoliant on your skin for a prolonged period of time, the effects you will get from it are going to be diminished. So I do recommend, if you have keratosis pilaris, which I do, I would definitely recommend using a physical exfoliant and then also a chemical exfoliant. But I like this, and I thought, you know, if nothing else, this will be a good travel type size. I just don't know if it's more expensive than just a pure like Tree Hut or Soap and Glory type scrub. I don't know if I'll spring for the full size of this. So this order, I didn't actually apply the discount code because I wanted to get this deluxe sample, which is pretty mini. This is the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator trial size in Fair Light Neutral, and this is 5 milliliters. So I don't know, I tend to like lighter bases on a day-to-day basis when I'm actually wearing makeup. I don't know, here. This is what I was wearing on a daily basis when I was going into work. This is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream SPF 30. So I just wanted to kind of see how this compared to it since it's a newer product. And I had used a tinted moisturizer from Tarte a while ago that they've since either discontinued or rebranded. So anyway, I haven't tried that yet, but I wanted to give it a shot. I think that was it really for that order. This sample might have come in with this order. This is the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser, which is a, you know, good cleanser that I've used in the past. I like this cleanser or the First Aid Beauty cleanser to use with a Clarisonic or any kind of like device that's supposed to cleanse your skin. Otherwise, I use something that's a little bit more creamier. So I think this order, and again, like people start uploading their recommendation videos and you keep watching them and then you're kind of convinced and you have a glass or two of wine and then you find yourself placing more orders. So I did get the Viseart Petite Pro 4 Apricotine, I think is how you say it, which I am wearing on my eyes today. And if you haven't seen it, this is another one, like I showed you in my Z palette, those little pans that will pop out. I might keep it in this packaging because it's kind of the color of the palette, so you know what you're reaching for, as opposed to everything being this kind of, where'd that Busier palette go? This kind of dark brown where they're all kind of looking the same. So I think I blame this on Marnie, Miss Gold Girl, and, oh gosh, what's her name? I think Mandy Davis MUA is her channel name. She's been doing a lot of like peach eyes lately, and not necessarily using this palette. She might be using some other ones, but she has lighter blue eyes than I do. So I think that generally, if you're not aware, on the color wheel, you want to look at the contrasting color to see what's going to make your eyes pop. So for blue eyes, that's like oranges, corals, bronzes. For green eyes, it would be those kind of burgundies, maroons, reds, that sort of thing. And then like brown and hazel eyes, I think there are various color combinations that will bring out various kind of undertones in those eye colors. Anyway, Mandy Davis has very light blue eyes, so I think she's blessed in that way, in that her eyes just naturally pop a little bit more. My eyes tend to be like darker blue to gray, but I still do think that like coppers and oranges do help enhance the color of my eyes. So that was kind of what inspired me to pick this up. I don't know if I'll be picking up any of the other kind of little orangey palettes that Viseart is putting out, like the Spritz. I don't know if I'm really interested in that. But I do like this one. It's kind of a lighter, peachier one. I do have very fair skin as well, so I kind of have to be careful about how intense I go on my shadows. But yeah, I am liking that one so far. And then I think it looks like I got this sample of the Drunk Elephant Lala Retro, which is the product I mentioned earlier. I do like it, and so sometimes if I see a sample like this that I know I've enjoyed the product in the past, it might be good to put this like in a, I guess what I consider like an airplane travel bag, like something that you, whatever your TSA approved, not like any of us are going anywhere, but assuming when we're traveling on an airplane, putting a small sample or samples of something like this, you don't have to worry about a bigger pot, whatever you might need for like a day or two to kind of tide you over. Was kind of my thinking on that. And then, okay, I guess I might as well talk about this here. So I was able, this was on April 21st, I was able to redeem points for a $100 Rouge reward. And I'd actually had an alert or an alarm set up so that, you know, every Tuesday and Thursday at like 12 o'clock, I would log on to Sephora to see if I was able to get one. But I was really kind of holding out for a certain product to come to Sephora. And that product was the, let me get this all wrapped up, Pat McGrath Divine Rose. So I used my $100 Rouge reward, and then I had to spend like $25 out of pocket. Because it's so difficult to get those Rouge rewards, I like to use them on something that, you know, I'll hold on to it for a while, or I'll just, when I look at it, I know it's something kind of expensive that I wouldn't have paid full price for on my own. The last one I received, or was able to obtain, I guess, I used on the Natasha Denona Biba palette. So that was kind of my thinking. I wanted to, I don't know, use it on something special and something that was kind of high value. So, a bit of a story with this. So, like I said, I redeemed my points on April 21st, and that was because it finally showed up as coming soon on the Sephora site. And I kept checking. I had like a, you know, email notification for this palette, all of that. I think some people were actually able to purchase this during the VIB sale. I don't know if that was before I got the Rouge reward, or I don't know. I don't know what happened, but once I had the Rouge reward, this was, I think, coming soon. So I was a bit annoyed and stressed out because those rewards expire after a couple months. So I was worried because it'd been like 2 to 3 weeks since I'd gotten the Rouge reward before this actually came into stock and was available for purchase. So I was concerned that this would just be coming soon for months. It would never actually show up. But anyway, crisis averted. It's all good. I will say it's very nice artwork on the packaging. The box, I feel like, and I'm not one to advocate excessive packaging where it's not necessary, but when you're purchasing something that's $125, I feel like maybe you could use a little bit just like sturdier cardboard, because like the end of this was just a little bit kind of busted. Luckily the palette itself is fine, and really I shouldn't hold on to packaging. It's also torn a bit, like on the inside. And of course the shades, for whatever reason, are printed on this card, and then there's stuff on the back as well. But I don't know why Pat McGrath has chosen to do that, but you know, that's where we are. I haven't used this palette yet. I like the shades, and I'll put this, I think Tara Baby somehow, maybe she trimmed this card so that it actually fits in the palette, because right now it won't like fit in without sticking out. So maybe I just need to trim it down a little bit. I definitely, I think, like this color story better than the Divine Rose 2. And this is my first Pat McGrath palette of this size, so I mean, I like the heft of it. I like the, you know, little emblems she has and the gold back. So this might be the only Pat McGrath palette, again, of the size that I purchased. I did see that the, I think, Bronze Seduction palette is available at Costco for, I think, $80. So if that is a palette you are interested in and you haven't purchased it yet through Sephora or Pat McGrath in any of their sales, then I think Costco is an even better deal if I'm doing the math correctly. So yeah, if you have a membership, you might want to check that out. All right, so more skincare. So it seems to be a, what's the word? Not a rite of passage, but like a given that I will pick up a Drunk Elephant value kit during a Sephora sale. It just always seems to happen. So I was kind of on the fence on whether I wanted to get this. I should have mentioned that my birthday is also in April, so that combined with like quarantine craziness, you know, things might have gotten a little out of hand. I don't know if I can fit this plastic sleeve back on. Anyway, so this is the Drunk Elephant Bear With Us kit. This retails for $100, and of course with the 20% off, I guess would be $80. It says it is a $134 value, and this is the plastic sleeve that fit on it. And this includes a lot of products that I like or have used before. Not all of them are my favorites, but we'll go through it. And I think for a brand that is all about being clean, I mean, they are not the most environmentally friendly company. Like this type of packaging on the moisturizers, a lot of people like it for like hygienic reasons, but I don't think it's a package that can be recycled. So keep that in mind if you are of a more environmentally friendly bent. But even aside from the like environmental impact of packaging like this, it's also kind of like how much of the list price is going into the packaging versus just the products is kind of where I'm coming from. So it has this like hard, it's like a fabric covered cardboard, and then it has this paper kind of sleeve. It says Bear With Us, like embossed, and then it says the Love Kit. So it says here, it started with our philosophy of avoiding six common ingredients. We encourage people to take a clean break by using Drunk Elephant exclusively by, and then it flips open and there's this like booklet that's glued into the outer packaging. So I can like take off this paper almost. I guess I would have to cut or tear it from the bottom. But yeah, anyway, it has this whole booklet of like people and like, I don't know, I just don't care. Like I would rather them skip on the printing costs of putting this in here. It's not relevant. So anyway, talking about the products themselves. So I've already taken a couple of these out. One is the F-Balm Electrolyte Water Facial Mask. This has vitamin F, which I don't even know what vitamin F is, but this is half a fluid ounce, has that pump style packaging, and I have already been using that, so I've already taken it out. And then it had the, let's see, TLC Framboos Glycolic Night Serum, and once upon a time I used this, like I think I went through one or two of these exclusively on my face. I think I found, however, that it would kind of just, it kind of formed like a, how do I explain this? Like a gel layer or something that like if I was rubbing my face, it would start to like pill up. So I didn't really love that. So I would start using this on my arms. And like I said, I do have that keratosis pilaris, and so having something that has an AHA and a BHA chemical exfoliant is good to, you know, get rid of the dead skin and prevent that kind of effect. So this has that twist up packaging, and this is also a half ounce. I don't know why they have different packaging for these two types of products, but Anyway, I will use this up, but it wasn't like one of the main reasons I chose to get it. I should also mention that if you want to try a product like the F-Balm, but don't necessarily want to pay this Drunk Elephant price, a product that I've been using that I do like is the Indeed In Circadian Night Mask. This is 1.7 fluid ounce. I purchased this from Ulta, and I found out about this product through, there's some sort of like beauty chemist account that I follow where they compared these, I think, head to head, and said that this was a good product, and I like it. I have been enjoying it. So I think this is less expensive, but I'm pretty sure it's less expensive. I think it still might be on the higher end of drugstore, but you know, not Drunk Elephant. All right, and then I think some other products. So it has a mini size, like a travel size. This is also a 1/2 ounce of the Lala Retro Whipped Cream. And like I said, I do like having the Protini on before this because I feel like it really sinks in and helps plump up my skin. But I will definitely be able to use this up, especially, you know, I might save this for the fall and winter, you know, when I feel like I need that extra barrier. So one of the reasons I chose to get this was it has a 1/2 ounce size of the Serum Day Serum. And this is a product that I kind of fall in and out of using kind of religiously. So I think what really pushed me over the edge was watching, I think, Stephanie Nicole's Sephora recommendations video, which everyone was kind of poking fun at her because it seems like she only pops up for those videos because Sephora has sponsored her. And a lot of it is kind of repetitive, and it's not necessarily the newest products, but anyway. She had said that, you know, during the initial phases of quarantine, she kind of skipped out on her skincare and I guess kind of noticed the change, and then she went back and was kind of feeling better. So anyway, this I do have, and I think, okay, so I think this is my old one. And I think I got this, this is also a 1/2 ounce, in a like Sephora sale Drunk Elephant kit from maybe a year ago. I don't think this was in the winter haul that I did. But I just kind of wanted to show you, yeah, this is definitely the new one. So I just wanted to show you the color difference. Hopefully this doesn't like slide all over my hand, between the new one and the old one. So, you know, I was still using the old one a bit, but, you know, vitamin C is definitely a product that you want to try to use up. So even though I had some product left over, I felt like I needed a new one, you know, that hadn't gone bad. I don't think this one, you know, I don't think it'll cause any damage if you use a kind of older vitamin C product, but I don't think it has the same beneficial effect maybe as a fresh one. All right, and then the last two little products, oh, it says Lift Tray for bonus sample. There's also a sample of the D-Bronzy, just a little packet. I don't know if I've ever tried that product before. I know some people will add it to foundations if it's a little light, but usually I don't have that problem. I don't know, I haven't really gone into that. I'm a little gun shy when it comes to bronzing products, self-tanners, that sort of thing, because I am so fair. And we will talk about a bronzer or two later on, but anyway. So there's also, this is a 1 fluid ounce of the Jelly Cleanser. I haven't really used this, even though I've gotten samples of it before. Maybe this would be good with a Clarisonic. I haven't really tried it. But I do like right now I'm using the Kate Somerville Goat Milk Cleanser as like my morning cleanser. Very creamy, lotiony type texture. So that's kind of my preference when it comes to cleansers that aren't used with a device. And those are just pure skin cleansers. They're not like makeup removers or anything like that. All right, and the last little product, this is a 1/2 fluid ounce of the Umbra Umbra Tint SPF 30, and it does have an expiration date of September 2021. So, you know, plenty of time really to use it. This has 20% zinc oxide. And this has an interesting like twist top where you just twist it and it comes out that little spot there. This one also has that type of dispensing mechanism now that I look at it. I think this is too dark for me. Last time I tried it, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll find someone I can give that to you, but I think the last time I did try it, it just looked too dark on my skin. All right, so speaking of bronzers, yeah, this was another thing where I think people were talking about it and it was getting really hyped up, and then it would like go out of stock. And I think it's one of those things like as soon as something is out of stock and you can't get it, then you absolutely want to get it and have to have it. All right, so this is the Kosis Moisturizing Baked Bronzer. And I am wearing it today. It is like, it has a sheen to it, and I was worried that it would be too orange on me because I am quite fair. I'm more like neutral to cool toned. But I think it looks pretty good. I had applied some sitting here, and then I went into the bathroom, which has your typical fluorescent lighting, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so pale. Like, I haven't obviously been out in the sun as much, and if I do know that I'm going to be in the sun for a while, then I definitely try to wear sunscreen. Anyway, getting back to this bronzer, yeah, like I'm not one that typically wears, I don't have a huge bronzer collection, I should say, and if I'm just doing a quick face to go to work or whatever, then it's not a step I usually include. But I am glad I picked this up. I like kind of the life, I guess, it gives my face, and I think the packaging is pretty cool. I think it's plastic. It has this like frosted green packaging, which reminds me of kind of like vintagey type products. And then I think it's also pretty cool that it says made in Italy since 1982 on the bottom. Like through the plastic, you can see it's kind of embossed in the actual product maybe. So I think Kosis is actually, I don't know where they're based. It says baked in Italy, but I don't know if they're from Italy, this brand. But anyway, I thought it was cool that whatever, I guess, lab or whatever makes this product has that kind of, I guess, heritage. Yeah, and this is another product. I use this kind of, you know, natural hair Sephora brush. This one has been long discontinued. I don't know if they've come out with equivalents. This is the, it just says powder 40 brush. So I don't know if there's a Sephora number 40 brush. I really want to get the Refer P, I think it's 22, like this kind of similar shape, the same basic shape as the Tom Ford bronzer brush. But getting a little sidetracked here. So I'll mention this later on, but I have recently started watching Kate the Great, Britt Clark. I'd already been subscribed to Michelle Wong, and Better Off Red. So they all are kind of part of the same little YouTube clique, and I might have come across Kate the Great before or heard her mentioned, and I might have checked out a video, but I just never, you know, didn't jive with me at the moment. But she's a professional actress who lives in New York, and if you couldn't tell from my screen name, I am a very big musical fan. It's not something that I ever considered doing professionally, but, you know, it's something that I enjoy, you know, watching and listening to that type of music and stuff. So anyway, Kate the Great is fabulous, and she does, or has been doing, live streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during this quarantine period. And anyway, she has the P22 brush, and I think some other people might have as well. I don't know if Michelle Wong, but I don't think Refer brushes were really on my radar prior to watching her, but I definitely recommend checking her out. And other people may have mentioned them. It seems like they're getting a little bit more traction now. Like I think Mallory, gosh, it used to be Corneliuson, but now, or Mallory 20 or 1712, but now it's like Mallory Brooke, I think. She recently mentioned these, and Stephanie Marie recently mentioned one of these brushes. And they are like very high quality Japanese brushes. I don't know if you can see down here, they have like Japanese writing. This is just like the little plastic sleeve that they come in. So I have right now the number 1 brush, which is kind of the old, what was it? The MAC 217, I want to say, or like the Sigma E40, I think maybe, that kind of like domed, pinched blending brush. And then I also have the number 2, which is like the MAC 239. These are all natural hair brushes made in Japan. And then the number 3 is this little pencil brush that's really good, especially with smaller eyes. And then finally there is the number 15, which is like a fatter domed crease brush, I guess. And it's like round, it's not pinched. So something that Refer does, which I think is really interesting, they have a page on their site called the Concept Store, where you can basically get brushes for half off. I think I actually have another order outstanding from them where they had like a special deal where the brushes weren't going to ship for like 10 weeks or something, but they were half off. So, you know, if you wanted to do that, you could. But I think like this, or like these small eye brushes, I think they're normally $24, and I got both of them for $12 each plus shipping. So anyway, so all that's to say, don't let the price of these brushes, the full price, be a deterrent if you're interested. I just kind of make it a habit to check their site periodically to see if they've added any new brushes to that Concept Store. I think it's usually number brushes 2 and 3, like the MAC 239 equivalent and the pencil brush, have been there fairly frequently, or it's been a while since they've been there. So definitely, if you're interested in those two, check them out. The P22 that I mentioned, like that big bronzer brush, I think is like close to 100. So it's like, if I can get that for half off, that would be great. Let's see. Okay, so I think I have 2 more orders to quickly go through before probably my memory card is full. Okay, so I just mentioned Kate the Great, and I'm not sure if it was her that pushed me over the edge. A lot of people were talking about these products because they were new. So one more Drunk Elephant product that I caved and purchased is the Tango Vitamin Multivitamin Eye Cream. And yeah, this has the same type of package. It's half an ounce. And part of my reasoning, I guess, I pulled out like an old travel size of this that I had and was kind of using it. I was like, okay, I don't know. I was just like full in on vitamin C at the moment. But yeah, I have an Algenist eye cream that I really like. I think it's called the Eye Balm. And that one is almost out. And so I was kind of thinking, well, maybe, you know, I don't know if I would use this morning and night, but if I'm definitely using it in the morning, it'll help that one go a little bit farther. I don't think the Algenist, I don't think the price of the Algenist is vastly different from the Drunk Elephant, so I could have just repurchased that, but I think vitamin C is supposed to help with collagen production and fine lines, which I definitely have underneath my eyes, so anyway, I thought I would return to that one. I think I've definitely gone through a full size of that because I think it was in, what was it called? Like the Wayne Goss Does it look fantastic? I think I bought some like Wayne Goss collaboration box and that was in it, and I'd used it all the way. So, I mean, skincare, I will go through. And then I also got 2 of the Fenty blushes. So I think Tara Babies also had a role to play in this. I got Bikini Martini and Cool Berry. So these, the Cool Berry has shimmer, and I think the Bikini Martini is just like matte, I guess. So I don't know why everyone was so like upset about the size of these, because I don't think for like a cream blush they seem that small. Maybe people just aren't used to it. I did also purchase, this was a blush brush that Samantha Ravndal recommended from e.l.f. This is the Precision Airbrush Stipple. And it almost looks like it's the number 105, I guess. You know, e.l.f. is pretty affordable, so I haven't used this one yet, but she used it for these brushes. You can also just, or for these blushes rather, you can also just use your fingers and kind of pat it in. Yeah, so I haven't played around with that brush yet, but I will. Yeah, and I don't know, I liked how like luminous and lit from within these looked on people. So yeah, I got that one and the Bikini Martini. And I also ordered, when Fenty had their like 25% off sale not too long ago, I think I picked up more shades because I think that by that point everything was just kind of off the rails, and I was like, you know, I hadn't even tried these yet. I ordered like 3 more shades. So hopefully I like them. Let's see. Okay, so last order to talk about. I did get a sample of the vegan milk cleanser when I purchased, or yeah, I guess ordered the Divine Rose. So this is like the companion product to the milk, the vegan milk moisturizer. And this is also available in a travel size, but you know, I don't have an immediate need for a cleanser, and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, so I'm curious to see if I like this. I might end up purchasing that down the line, but anyway, I just thought I would mention it because it does kind of correspond to a product I had purchased. And I guess also on the topic of milk, I did get a bunch of samples. And like I said, sometimes when you place multiple orders, and I didn't really do this intentionally, although I will say it seems like the bigger the order, the longer it took to get to me. I don't know if it's because they have to route it to a warehouse that has all of those products in stock. So if you're only purchasing 1 or 2 items, there's maybe a better chance that it's closer to you. I don't know how it works. But I did get several samples from, I don't know, whatever orders, of the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which I haven't tried before, but I am curious to try, and it is a product that I've contemplated buying as a travel size, but you know, a free sample is definitely better than having to fork out money. Okay, so that being said, I did pick up, I think I already mentioned, another of the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hydrating Serums because I'd finished one during the sale. So I thought, you know, it'd be good to have one on backup and to have it at a discount. And then this product I fully blame on Kate the Great because she talks about it. This is the Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Concealer. And I am currently wearing the shade L2. I did buy 2 shades because I was kind of panicking as to which shade was going to work best for me. I think she uses L2, but she might be just a hair darker than I am. So I like it. I like the coverage. I only have used it today, so I don't really have like a full impression on it. Yeah, I think the coverage is good. It's not as thick and drying maybe as the Shape Tape is. What I had been using was the Estee Lauder, what are you called? Oops. Hydro Prep 24-hour concealer plus Hydro Prep. Yeah, which honestly I don't even really use the Hydro Prep side. I just like this kind of lightweight, you know, it is, I think, I don't know, maybe a little thinner, more moisturizing than the Pat McGrath. So the one I just swatched in the middle here was 1C Light Cool. And then this other Pat McGrath. And sometimes, like, the shade of concealer I go for can kind of depend on what foundation I'm wearing. You know, if I want something that kind of blends more into my skin tone, or if it's more kind of brightening. So the other shade I got was L1 because I was freaking out that maybe this other one would be too dark. And that's definitely a lot lighter. I don't know, I haven't used this yet, so I mean, this might be more of like a winter shade. Like, I think this one looks good, the L2 or whatever, but maybe this one would be more lightening or brightening. Who can say? Sometimes matching concealers and foundations is more of, you know, an art than a science. And then the other product I got, because she talked about it, was the Pat McGrath Labs Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. And I had been setting my concealer with the Charlotte Tilbury. I am interested in the bronzer that she's just put out, but I don't know that I need it right now. Anyway, this is the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, and this is the one that is almost gone. I have another one, but I've been trying to kind of just use this one up. I think this powder is more moisturizing. And again, this might be a situation where, and you can see how much like powder my brush picked up. So part of it might just be getting the right brush so that you don't get too much powder, but I think this one might kind of stick to some dry patches under my eyes a little bit more. So we'll see. So right now I'm still, you know, Team Charlotte or whatever, but I don't know. We'll just keep playing with it. So yeah, I think, oh, there's one more thing. So you may have heard, especially because I've talked about the Curly Girl method before, you know, whether or not you follow the Curly Girl, the brand Diva Curl kind of has landed in some hot water because people are claiming that it made their hair fall out. And I never, how do I say this? I never went without shampooing my hair for like a prolonged period of time. Like, I usually shampoo it with like a traditional sulfate-free cleanser every other day mostly. And so I don't know how to say this without being offensive. There's the Madam C.J. Walker series show on Netflix with, what's the actress's name? I can't remember. But anyway, she portrays Madam C.J. Walker, and the way that her, I guess, empire took off was she met this woman who helped her deal with like some hair loss and like kind of caring for her hair. And I don't pretend to know anything about, like, you know, African American hair or anything like that, black hair. But I think if you aren't properly cleansing your scalp, then that can have an effect on your hair and your hair growth, I think is kind of what I'm trying to say. So if people weren't properly cleansing, and I might just cut this out because, you know, who am I to say what is causing people to lose their hair? But anyway, I've never had a problem with Diva Curl. I've used their low poo in the past, but generally I use like an actual shampoo. Anyway, but I do like their deep conditioners. And they are supposed to be, yeah, they're silicone free. So if you're concerned about buildup of silicones on your hair, then it's a good product line to look into. And I had been using the, I think it's the matcha butter, which has that like really, it's light green in color and it has like a pistachio almond scent, which is really nice. It's, well, I think this one can maybe be in, no. I think this is either in a squeezy tube or a pump like this. I think the matcha butter that I had was in a tub, but they also sell it in a pump like this. So I don't know why the smaller size has a different package. Anyway, I had one of those that I was using and I felt like my hair was almost too conditioned, and sometimes I will just default to using a deep conditioner mask on my hair as a conditioner. But I did kind of feel like, because I know if you do follow the curly girl method, people have discussions about like strengthening their hair versus moisturizing it, and you kind of want to keep it in balance. But anyway, I had gone through a whole tube of this before. This is the Deep Sea Repair. It doesn't smell as good as the matcha butter, but I think it might be a better product for my hair. And because I liked the smell of the matcha butter, that is one of the reasons why I decided to get this smoothing conditioner. This one is 10 fluid ounce. So it is more affordable and cost effective. I'm not sure if I use more or less of one over the other. But anyway, my battery or my memory card is about to fill up. But anyway, this was on sale, which is one of the reasons why I decided to pick it up. It looks like back up to full price. So I don't know if that was a momentary, just, you know, fluke or whatever. And of course I did get the extra 20% off on top of that. So I am pretty well stocked when it comes to a lot of skincare, a lot of hair care, a lot of makeup I didn't need, but you know, we all need our forms of self-care and I guess therapy during this time. So again, I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. And for any new subscribers, I hope this video was a welcome addition to your subscription list. And if you have any requests for me, I don't know what my next video might be or when it might be, but I hope you look forward to it anyway. So I will talk to you guys soon.